Envy on hard carries, and they feel like they just have late game. Yeah, you die here or there, but that's okay. You're pushing the lanes in, you're stalling the game out. But that was a single core Sven game running a 5-man push strat. Sven can't be dying on his own. So it felt like I still a little bit of the off-lane mentality where deaths create space for the rest of the team, but he was one of the heroes that needed to not die that game.
Yeah.
So maybe still adjusting a bit to the role, but he's certainly a veteran player in the mold of Old Man Fear.
Real quick here, LD, let's talk about predictions. We got 55 seconds, total numbers of death by 25 minutes.
I'm expecting a lot here, Mott.
26 maybe? 26 to 35.
26 to 35.
Okay, we'll do that. Roshan, team with the most Roshan kills. I think EHOME just by virtue of being on the dire side.
Yes, EHOME should have the rush.
In total number of player deaths by 10 minutes, I'd say...
Let's go bold here, Mott. Let's say 16 plus.
I like it. In total number of Blink Daggers purchased 25 minutes, I'd say 3 to 4 probably.
Batrider, Earth Spirit, Nyx, 3 to 4. Yes. I would say, 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And they have the Mirana as well, who will eventually look to pick one up.
We'll see how we do as the game ends, but for now, we jump into game number 2, Execration versus EHOME, and they dropped the ward down for EHOME pretty early on. They TP'd, I think, towards the tower to get that ward down as quickly as possible in the jungle. So Lanham left some vision of the heroes walking out, and you could see it. He is not going to contest that bottom rune spot, but here's that rider top bar won't contest top either, so just a start that's pretty casual. I mean, you expect both teams to get at least one of those bounty runes, and that's exactly what happens, and we're going to settle into a laning phase with a aggressive dual lane offlane right now with EHOME.
Yeah, meanwhile, for Execration running the PL mid, straight out of the MVP Phoenix playbook, looking back to the Manila and especially Shanghai majors. So, matchup-wise, Old Chicken fishing with an arrow there. Looks like he just maybe wanted that first creep to get a little extra gold. He's actually aiming for Abed. I think it's actually a decent matchup for PL. You have the poor man shield, you have quite high base armor, but bottom lane, our early action mod, here we go.
Rolling boulder is missed. Tim's goes to the left and can't quite find that initiation, that slow onto Old Lanham World 11. Sentry ward takes down the observer ward in lane, so laning ward is now gone for the Radiant side, and they'll have to be a little bit more blind here. They still should have vision from the creeps and their heroes, but some good vision for Old Lanham and EHOME down in this bottom lane, especially in the jungle as well.
Yeah, I do feel Execration have kill potential here, especially on Old 11. They're going for the stun on Nando. Chemo gonna get slowed down, but once they get like level 3 on these heroes, it's quite easy. Just a glimpse into a kinetic field. Blade Fury on Old 11, he can't stun the Jugger, prevent that damage from coming out. And he should be able to get the kill.
Now they have the kinetic field, and Old 11 is in trouble to Blade Fury. He's going to have to buy out, and it's going to be Execration. They get first blood by bringing down Old 11 in the off lane.
Well, I said level 3. That's where it gets automatic, but they find it sooner with the casual
might get another one.
Kinetic field. They don't have Blade Fury now. This will be tough.
Yeah, they'll back up. They knew with the kinetic field they might have a chance, but exactly, without Blade Fury and with the long cooldown at level 1, it's very difficult.
So elsewhere, looking at the other lane matchups, the PL versus Mirana mid, it should just be a farm fest here. Abed, yeah, Mirana actually decent at dealing with the illusions. She has good AoE damage, but you can't really right-click the main peel down that easily. Old Chicken has to constantly focus on her ass. So Abed will farm, Old Chicken will farm. Off lane here for Execration, RR should have a pretty good time. They have very little in the manner of ways to shut down RR. So expect him to get a lot of levels, and I think that's where for Execration, if they keep on finding kills bottom, they will win the laning stage convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, with this dry lane, and especially with Tims who can rotate on an Earth Spirit, yeah, you need to be doing some work and finding kills in this bottom lane. Otherwise, you should be helping out mid lane with some rolls, even though it is Old Chicken on the Mirana. At least try to put some pressure.
Yeah, they can't mid lane. Oh, Chemo, he's gone in.
Double impale, nicely done. Kinetic field will drop. They get off the ignite as well. But Old 11 again is caught once more. The Blade Fury doing so much damage. Spike Carapace does not save his life.
They're rolling in. Tim's going deep.
So low. Can he survive this? Old bottom was trying to get the last right click, and he can't find it. He was mid-animation, looking for that kill.
Mid-club. He had it up. He was looking to slam it down, Mont, and he died a little bit too fast there. That is very costly. They just overestimated their damage output. It's only a level 2 Nyx assassin as your offlaner. Didn't have the level 2 stun for the additional damage and lockdown, and does 80 damage before reduction. That's basically nothing.
Yeah.
That's not even a right click.
Yeah, it's just not enough. Arrows gonna fly through mid lane. Old Chicken just trying to be aggressive and try to find Abed and at least do some damage. Old Chicken, I think, outlaning him a little bit here in this lane and with Starstorm. Ooh, good doppelganger. That was beautiful. He avoids it. Nicely done.
You don't need to win the mid lane here as Abed. As long as you get decent farm and you don't die, I think you're okay heading into the mid game because if Mirana gets ags, the solutions for a mid game PL are very limited, but Fenrir will find a kill here. Dove RR had the ward available and I think saw him going back to the jungle, snipes him on the way out. So nice pick up there. Meanwhile, mid lane, Abed looking to go in on Old Chicken, has the leap, but a spear can be used here to force that thing out.
He's gonna salve, and Old Chicken now picks up a haste rune. Needs to be careful mid lane.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're also looking for action.
Kinetic Field will stop any further aggression from EHOME there, but there's the TP and his Abed. They were looking for that aggression that I was talking about with the haste rune from Old Chicken, but good TP reaction from RR even after that death.
Lane stabilizing here pretty nicely for EHOME. Despite the 3-0 start, they're leading as far as net worth goes. Experience going slightly Execration's way. So, it's even here in the early moments, Mob, but compare that to last game where Execration were getting crushed, and they still won the game.
Yeah, and I gotta say, heading towards the late game is certainly not cut and
Mid
dry.
lane, moving on Abed.
Right? Is he gonna fall? Starstorm? Yeah, he's dead. That's just too much damage, and great rotations that I guess Abed wasn't expecting.
I think the Doppelganger was still on cooldown there, and when it's on cooldown, you look at the EHOME draft, they're a great ganking lineup later on once the Nyx hits 6 and starts to move and once the Lifestealer and Fest Bombs begin, but this stage, normally you don't expect a Phoenix to gank, so that's just EHOME playing unpredictably and catching PL a bit off guard there.
Yeah, I mean, they're rotating back up to top as well to try to find more, and RR is very concerned about this lane. He even drops a sentry to make sure there's no vision, but in fact there's a ward. It's just over at the ancient stack. So he's got the right idea. Unfortunately, he will miss out on finding the sentry in the correct position. Old Chicken, he's got the infused range drop, one of the best items in the game, if not the best item, especially if you talk to Winter. He loves that item, so...
Loves and hates it, but it's a relationship one way or the other. RR getting caught out here, goes for the quick TP.
This might work. Can't make it out barely. He's set with 30 HP in the well.
Raindrops saving lives, Mod.
Yeah, again, great item. Keeps him up and ready. So that, I guess.
Did I detect a twinge of sarcasm
Eh.
there? You sound like an angry support player who's been denied by Raindrops.
Yeah, I have, but also Raindrops have saved my life too numerous times, so I can't be too upset about the item.
Abed here, farming up the mid lane. So, despite the constant pressure, even on CS with Old Chicken, the Jug, even with the Lifestealer, it's really a fine laning stage for Execration and for EHOME doing okay as well. So then you look towards the mid game, and for me, I don't really feel like either lineup is just like a straight up, oh, they're the better draft late game, or this is a lineup who has a clearly better timing. Both are ganking oriented lineups. Both have good pickoff potential. Both have pretty good late game. It's just going to come down to who makes the better moves around the map. And it's hard to say who that'll be. EHOME have the Infest Bombs, but Execration have the Batrider for vision, the Glimpses for pickoffs. They are getting levels on their supports here, so a much more even game and one that should be very back and forth heading towards the mid game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this plays out. And you're right, going to the late game, it's again, it's not super cut and dry with who comes out.
Arrow on the mid lane, gonna miss the Scout the Courier coming in.
I was wondering if there was any ancient stacks, or not ancient stacks rather, but just stacks in general. Stun comes out on Abed from old 11, but he'll be fine. Down bottom, looks like they were taking that tier 1, but it's gonna be glyphed and Lana will rotate in. But yeah, no jungle stacks coming out from Execration, so this Batrider kind of has to do it.
They're gonna go for old Lanham here in a second, I think. No, he backs very far away.
Yeah. Finally, level 6 will come out from RR. His levels actually roughly the same with the Nyx Assassin, who's now rotated. I think actually he's taking over mid as Old Chicken's top lane, looking for that pick-off potential. But RR knows this and he's gonna TP home.
So for EHOME right now, they're mainly waiting for Nyx to get level 6. Vendetta will come out, and they will start looking for pickoffs. That is the hero that needs to be moving around the most, together with Ice looking for Infest Bombs, who, by the way, did stop off for a Midas here. Very uncommon pickup on the Lifestealer nowadays. Used to be a go-to grab, but suggests EHOME are really counting on him to get mega farmed.
That's kind of surprising to me, and it makes his early game just not necessarily
that's an armlet, basically.
Yeah,
like at this point, he would have an armlet, so it delays when they look for those big team fights, but obviously gives them that little bit of extra oomph heading towards the mid game.
Tier 1 tower top will be taken. Now Nando setting bottom. Here we go. The TP's going to come in. EHOME's looking for the Lifestealer with Ice. The glimpse back. He's got rage and he'll use it. Now there's the Blaze Fury. Nando needs to TP out and he will make it away. Again, another great TP coming out from Execration's squad to get out of a bad situation.
And I don't see EHOME pushing in on the bottom lane. This is a very healthy tier 1 defense will be mounted, so forcing the TP, still getting the tower. Slight win there for Execration, I would say overall. Limits a bit of the Lifestealer's farm time. And this is the stage of the game where supports look to get their levels. Tim's trying to get his level 6, Fenrir doing the same. Meanwhile, EHOME though, moving in under cover of smoke. They've got a Hastern up here on the Mirana, looking for chemo, and
see you later, I think. Starstorm, that'll grab the kill. And right now, 10 minutes into the game, and it looks like we might be right. 6 to 10, I believe, is what we chose for the kill values at 10 minutes into the game, and it's looking pretty good at this point.
oh yeah. Predictions are safe.
Yes, always. And there's that Vendetta. This is exactly what you were talking about, although they're not really setting anything up top lane.
No Infest Bomb. Just a Phoenix sitting here who's not going to hit level 6 off this creep wave. Pings come out. Execration.
Yeah, that was a Phantom Lancer ping. I think he knew that. He's not mid anymore, and he's like, well, he's probably Vendetta.
Nix.
He tries. Smoke. Oh, it's going to pop. Yeah, Chemo's was popped out and they dropped the sentry, but I mean, Old 11's not going to make the mistake of walking too far up.
But two other heroes still smoked here. The Vendetta's about to end.
Thanks, AV.
Looks like this is just going to amount to nothing.
Yeah, Nando said screw it and let me just farm and get my battle fear, which is what he's going for. He has the perseverance unless he wants to link it through, which is highly unlikely.
So you see Life still getting a Midas, your Execration. You say, great, we're going to get a battle fear on Juggernaut. This is a game where Nando will look to farm a bit more, gonna play a little greedier, and with a PL and a Juggernaut with a Battle Fury, perhaps that slightly tilts it their way, though Mirana will be working towards the Ags, I do imagine. Still, a very farmy second game here. EHOME wanting to play a bit safer, a bit more reserved.
Yeah.
They're gonna move under cover of smoke. They head towards top, still no Infest Bombs. Lifestealer again, very focused on the economy game.
They need a sentry down. Do they have one in lane? Do they have one on them? They only have Dust right now. I believe they have one sentry on Thames. He drops it, but it's in lane. First contact. Who's it going to be made by? They're still wrapping around. Here comes Old 11. Then he's the Moonlight Shadow and Execration. They should know that this is happening.
But they get the stun off.
Sunray will come through Omni Slash, but now they have vision finally and on him. Sunray, can it keep him alive? No.
Phoenix has the egg though, they're gonna dive a bit deeper, the glimpse back, trying to remove one here from the fight. They will get rid of the Disruptor, so it ends up being a 1-for-1. Disruptor for an Ogre Magi. Still the egg reserve.
Nando wants to go back in. Great stun onto 2. There's gonna be the Blade Fury. Silence up onto Old 11 as well. He's low. Stick charge with a Spike Carapace. It'll keep him alive.
The bait, can they turn it? The stun on cooldown. Nando can just walk away, has the healing ward going. Old 11 unable to snipe it here, but he has the impale. So they have the bomb down. The kick comes through, he hits one, almost 2. Old 11, one more right click will bring him down. Fenrir as well.
Wow.
That should not happen, Mott.
No way. That was a sick kick one way or the other, but you're
and
right.
mid lane, they're diving on Old Chicken. They have the glimpse soon.
3 seconds.
Trapped in the trees.
They have vision.
Oh, they could have gone for that, but they're a little worried about TPs.
I thought they should have gone for that with 2 heroes dead. I think he might have screwed up. I think he might have glimpsed. No, I guess he just didn't go for it.
And Nando almost has a Battle Fury already. It's a Midas Lifestealer who can't even keep up in farm with the Juggernaut who's yet to get his Battle Fury. That is not a good sign. And the Blink Dagger now comes out. Sure, it's a relatively even game when it comes to farm, but you have to keep in mind that EHOME have gone for a Midas and Lifestealer. This is a hero who normally is looking for kills around this point, looking to shut down the enemy carry. He's just trading farm. Mirana Ags, that's the hero that can take over as far as net worth goes. Not snowballing, not really finding pickoffs. EHOME need to get something out of this next. They are going to look for it now. But do they have an opening?
Here comes Lanham. They're going to find him here. They drop the ward down. They should see this rolling boulder. It's just going to miss, but the boulder smash does hit on 2.
And again, it's on 2, and the last one to follow it up. They're going to feed the old Lanham.
He will end up falling here with, of course, that kinetic field. He does give him a fire blast before his death, just trying to say,
The issue with running this like pick-off style against Execration, they are a swarm. They will send all 5 every single time if they have towers in range. So if you're going to go for pickoffs, you need to be prepared for 5 to show up, or just have clearly superior team fight with less. But here's the move mid. Swoop in from the Phoenix. They can drop an egg if they want to go this stun.
Oh, Nando onto 2. Abed in trouble. They're about to both fall. He's actually able to doppelganger away the Sunray, and the arrow will hit. He's done. bit too far. Execration lose 2, and they're not done yet. EHOME looking for more. Old 11 with another impale ready, and Kibo will try to dodge it. He does nicely.
He can glimpse Old 11 back potentially.
I don't know.
He's gonna pull him in.
Firefly, spike carapace is up. This is dangerous. There are open wounds, and they also have the stun as well with the fire blast coming out. You saw it, but
come back here. Come back here. Sure. I will happily collect this kill.
That's just...
They didn't have Static Storm. That's the big thing Execration needs. They're lacking that key support ultimate. Costing them pretty heavily, and an awkward time to force a fight mid is the Jug Battle Fury was almost complete, Chemo was almost level 6. Peel almost had Boots of Travel. A lot of almosts there for Execration. It was not the ideal time to engage. The other thing is they have to be more disciplined with Sentry Wards, constantly have them ready, and also when it's nighttime you need to have an Observer Ward paired with it so you have just the general vision to make that True Sight count. So I think not respecting the Nyx here. Or the Moonlight Shadow.
I mean, like, it's 2 of those, and Old 11, they don't have the vision to see him, so I think Nando might just be dead here. They're going to just swarm on in, and they're going to go for the impale. Open wounds, the arrow comes through, and he's done. The Static Storm, though, they might turn this around. Lasso is up, they get Old 11 as well. And can they bring down Ice? He does have that armlet. He's very tanky. It's 2 dead for the side of Execration.
He is going to melt down. Now PL arrives, can look for a bit more. Old Chicken's also low, has the leap available. They're going to surge in for this. Can RR flame break one back? Fenrir on the run, but has another swoop out. Old Chicken looks to turn, but now he's in trouble with no leap available. Oh, the Sunray. It's enough to save him on, for now.
4 sticky napalm stacks. There's still more. Good boulder smash to find the kill. Fenrir.
Skirmishing from Execration. They're going to look for Fenrir, I think, as well. Another lance in. 6 napalm stacks. A flame break is really going to hurt, but he's out of mana with that last napalm.
And he can't go in with the urn, still constantly pressuring him and doing a lot of damage, and that's why RR couldn't find Fenrir there. But overall,
our predictions are looking good, Mod. 20 kills at 15 minutes.
3 for 2 trade after it's all said and done, as the fight recap shows at 1,500 gold exchange.
That's the entire advantage EHOME just built up. Completely wiped away, but they're looking for a pick top. Abed, he got greedy with the TP, and now he looks like he's gonna pay.
Yeah, one more right click. There it is. Old 11 will find himself the kill.
I mean, both teams, let's be honest, a little sloppy here, forcing the fight. It's kind of a chaotic draft by nature, so you expect to see a lot of these kills happening, but some very avoidable ones. EHOME overplaying their hand mid, PL being greedy top. Dust settles, still very even.
This is a close one, and another impale is going to find Timo, but he does get the glimpse back first. The arrow does hit, though, and the Sunray on top, and Timo will feed away a kill, looking for that rune. And they have a ward over at the Ancient stack, and now Nando needs to be very careful with how he proceeds.
Oh, if they can steal these Ancients, that would be absolutely massive. That's a lot of gold.
And you can't fight because 2 of your heroes are dead, and yeah, that's just an Ancient stack that's gone. It's gone to the way of Old Chicken, and that'll build into his Aghanim Scepter even further. All he needs is that Blade of Alacrity right now.
The one worry here for Execration is PL starting to fall behind a bit on farm, and if you fall behind, Maelstrom, the choice for Ice, eventually a Mjolnir. That combined with the Mirana eggs can clear those illusions out like nobody's business. So I think PL needs to not die here for Execration, more so than other games. The itemization will allow EHOME to deal with the Illusion Swarm late game, and Jug is not a hero that will solo carry. This is a hero that needs a multi-core draft to work. Execration been quiet lately. It's RR, the tempo setter. Hasn't been finding pickoffs with the lasso. The supports have been getting caught in RR. He will look to break a smoke here. The Moonlight Shadow comes a bit late. He blinks out.
Yes.
They see it coming, and now they can re-engage.
Lasso, they get it, but there's the spike carapace. Omni Slash going very far. Static Storm catches onto 2, but they walk out. But still, that Blade Fury and Magnetize doing some serious damage.
And they're going to find Old 11. They're looking for Lanham as well. It was the Bat Rider to the rescue. Nando will have the phase through his own Lanham, likely to die on the other side of the fight. Ice runs in. 1v4. Well, actually, as Old Chicken, but Old Chicken is not long for this world. He will drop as well. And now Abed turns. Can this Life Stealer find a kill?
No rage, no infest for at least 5 seconds.
No TP either, Mott.
They have the damage. He's so tanky. I just don't know they have enough right now to deal with this hero.
They can kite him. He's eventually going to die.
Look at that micro coming out from Abed. Now this is going to be the glimpse back as well, and he'll have to armlet toggle for
Can he fight this? Ogre McGee is coming back in, but the micro god gets out microed. Abed gets the job done. That was 100% the Bat Rider. But the thing that cost them, they didn't Moonlight Shadow before they ran up the hill. Yeah, he broke the smoke, but if they're under cover of Moonlight Shadow, RR would not have known. There were no sentries in the area.
Exactly.
All these sentries just got planted after the fight broke out, so that was a big blunder by EHOME.
Yeah, it's just, again, you talked about in the first game mistakes that they shouldn't be making, and I bet he's about to walk into a Central War with ult 11. They see him there. He's going to bait these. He's got his Spirit Lance ready to go with the Spike Carapace, fourth forward. They have no lasso, but the Firefly, oh, they do have it. Not to mention they have a gem on top.
Oh, but they push him away. They need that vision. Oh, yeah, sorry, they do have the gem, like you said. So ult 11 will end up going down.
Yep. And
This is not the EHOME that I was expecting. Yes, the Execration are doing a good job at forcing mistakes. They are playing well as a team, but EHOME, it doesn't feel like they're united right now. There's a lot of individual players going for solo pickoffs, trying to make plays on their own. Where's the unity?
right, I mean, they are going for like ganks together, and they're going for like these 5-man smokes in Moonlight Shadow, but they're not really connecting. It's not really working out for them, and so they're capitalizing. Execration are capitalizing, and they're going to try to press the tower because of that. They're getting a couple more items. Diffusal Blade, which is a great item coming out for the PL. That's where your damage really starts to pump up, and well, Hondo with his Battle Fury and his Yasha, not to mention Omni Slashes already. This should be enough for them to take the tower, as they do have the Mirana Ags, though, coming out finally for Old Chicken, and they really need it.
I really like the gem pickup, though. This is going to be huge as EHOME look to run in. They could be running into a trap stun on PL to start.
Yeah, but it's going to get arrowed up. He's in trouble, and he is going to fall. It's time to back up for Execration. They'll try to TP away, but
the play break comes through. It allows them to get some TPs out, but not enough. RR could be the third man down. Old 11, though, dropping low here. The blink out from Bat. He looks for the TP, but he's not in the tree. And that's the gem as well. Pretty disastrous push there. They had gem, but
he wasn't in position to find those heroes. He was sitting back, waiting for a blink lasso target, and Abed's here at the front of the tower, and he just gets caught, and they don't have any way of saving him. It's just, if you're going to try to make a play like that, I feel like you need to be closer to your teammates to keep your allies alive with the gem and vision. It's a big mess up for Execration, and allows the Nyx assassin to pick up a blink dagger, and he'll carry the gem around for the time being. Schemo is lamenting that gem's purchase after it goes down.
You've talked about it, Maud. It's Moonlight Shadow and Nyx. You need to have a gem. Sentries are a big tax on the supports. They had to drop 4 bottom earlier. That's 400 gold. It's a big investment. And it only won the one fight as EHOME will start massacring those wards. They take over this Radiant jungle for now, but Execration will look to strike back. But you see every time they creep forward a little bit, drop a sentry. They're running out of them, and they will need to make sure they have them up for this upcoming potential Roche fight. As the scan does connect, be a big opening, but EHOME have the high ground.
They're looking for Roche. They thought that's where they were with these scan, but it's unfortunately not true. Abed actually went on illusion. So this Smoke of Deceit is going to be dodged swiftly by EHOME. They'll stay together, and this time they're going to look to counter-engage as they have now the Infest Bomb with a new...
No Blade Fury, he's dead.
My lord, Nando gets blown up.
EHOME just winning the pickoff game right now.
Yeah.
And they'll move on the back of that kill towards the mid tower. There is a buyback available on Jug, but the Slice Star is just very tanky, so I'm not sure that you can really go on EHOME when it's a 5v5 scenario like this.
I don't think so. Especially with the newly minted Axe for Old Chicken, I just think there's too much damage coming out for EHOME right now with the Lifestealer. And so he's got a Maelstrom looking for a Mjolnir. Boulder Smash will be dodged and used Rage by Ice Ice Ice. The clip will go. Sun Rays trying to clear out the creep wave. It'll do a nice job. RR has his Firefly. He's looking for a dust. Instead, Blink Blast to Old Chicken brought back.
Oh, the Static Storm!
Can they get it done? Magnetize on top. Ice 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 burning down, and he will end up going.
And they're looking for more. They're going to dive on the Fenrir. The Lance finishes him. It's 3 down.
They get the gem back.
And they get the gem back. What is happening in this game? Incredible Static Storm. Chemo, the veteran captain. This guy has been around for years in the Filipino scene. Has never quite made it at TI, but that was so far the play of the game, and they might find more. They've scouted out Old 11. The stolen gem turned against them. Can they follow this up? There's going to be a blink. And they can chase.
They have plenty of sticky napalm stacks. And the bloodlust will go though, and I don't know if they want to push any further.
Oh, these heroes are respawning. You cannot be diving that.
Yeah, I think that's
I don't think. I'm not sure you can even roach here, Mod. It's a risky one.
Oh no, Abed. He's got to wait for another 3 seconds. Oh no, he doesn't force it. Just kidding. All right, I was a little concerned that he couldn't get down, but
They have the gem advantage here, but they are fighting in the pit against a Phoenix and a Mirana Ags. This is extremely risky for Execration. I don't think this is a roche you go for, and it seems they have realized if they're going to go for it, they'll at least need to reset, find a pick first. But I mean, the kills are great. Getting the gem back, though, that is the real trump card there for Execration. Here's the Moonlight Shadow.
And they're about to come in and engage head on. Old 11.
Oh, the blink dodge, though. He jukes up into the trees. The sun comes through.
Tail on a 3. Now Nando will be the second to fall again. Abed has to doppelganger to the low ground to stay alive, but only for a moment as Old Chicken leaps and's looking for more right clicks, and Abed will end up falling. No, the high ground miss. Can he get 2? No, he cannot. It's a double kill for Old Chicken and EHOME. And they'll take Roche with that fight going their way.
They had a ward, I think, right near the pit, and it may have seen the Bat Rider like flying around near this observer ward. I'm not sure, but it looked like he expected the bat to jump right around that moment and thought he was in the trees. So EHOME end up once again completely turning the game back around. Look at this graph, up and down, all around.
I've seen a lot of graphs that have been hills and valleys, but this one is kind of nuts.
This is looking like a very, very dangerous roller coaster of a game. And for EHOME, it truly is a loss here. They're down to the lower bracket against a desperate team, and even should you win that match, you've got to win another to advance. So you want to be in that winner bracket finals. You want to have 2 shots at advancing, not just playing your hearts out for the one.
And
they are in the driver's seat for now.
I mean, they have the advantage. R is going to find a
Is the gem going back the other way again? They want it bad.
He can't bring him down to
they
the
have
low
dust.
ground.
They have dust. They could chase, but EHOME are there.
This is a dangerous fight. Again, they have the Aegis up and ready to go. It is on Old Chicken.
If they had one carry there, that is an instant gem reclaim. And the game swings back around again.
Old Chicken being very aggressive, but he knows he has the Aegis to work with, not to mention a Blink Dagger and Leap to get out of a bad situation. And Nando just knows that he's been stuck at this Battle Fury Yasha for a long time, so he finally will be able to purchase up his Ultimate Orb and get the Manta style. And Abed similarly has been stuck on Bot's Diffusal for a couple of minutes as well, while EHOME have started to progress further with this Lifestealer.
Not sure about the Manta this game. There's so much AoE with the Mjolnir and the Mirana Axe, not to mention like things like the Phoenix Ultimate and the Nyx Stun. There's no big silences to remove really.
I think it's mostly for open wounds, I believe.
That's true. It's decent versus open wounds. I feel like a BKB is eventually a necessity here for Jug heading towards the late game, but he gets caught out again. Manta.
Back into a BKB. If he keeps dying like this, Blade Trio will go and then he dies right after.
Yeah, Jug just struggles against Lifestealer because of the tankiness of the Lifestealer. You build the armlet, you've got a lot of plus armor to deal with Omni Slash, and your right click really does not care about Blade Fury.
No buyback. It looks like they were deciding to try to defend this. They were setting up the Bat Rider here to position himself for a good Blink Lasso, but again, without the Juggernaut, you can't fight 4 versus 5, and Abed will just, I think he's needed to do more of this throughout the game, and I like it now. Split pushing down bottom, no tier 1 to take, and he's pretty far away from that tier 2, but he's trying to do all that he can at this point.
And we have our first decisive lead of the game, Mod. It has been neck and neck the whole way, but EHOME, in one fell swoop, they get the next, perhaps the decisive punch. On the back of that, they get the gem back, they deward the enemy jungle, they take the Roshan, they systematically wipe out all Execration tier 2s left standing. They occupy the jungle now. Execration are bottled up.
Yeah, and even with the Lifestealer staying inside of Old 11 for a long time, it just doesn't really matter. I mean, he already does enough damage. He has in the older, he has an Ogre Club for who knows what. And SNY might be a little bit late for that, but here we go. Execration will go for a smoke LD, and we'll see what they can find here. There's a Moonlight Shadow coming out from EHOME. Is there any detection coming out from Execration?
Oh, I think they're going to miss each other, and missing each other is just fine for EHOME. They have Aegis, they would love to fight with it, but Execration, who lack the map control, lack the towers, as Radiant will struggle to contest the next Roche. As I say that though, they circle back around on the mid lane. They are going to reveal their Juggernaut. Yeah. Nando, he wants to back away, but the rest of the team also scrambling. Here's the jump.
Oh, they missed the stun. Old 11 was not on point there. Still might just back up for Execration, but there's the Omni Slash. Great Yule Scepter might keep him alive. Static Storm onto 2, Supernova on top, and it looks like EHOME are turning this around.
EHOME still finding pickoffs here. 2 supports brought down, but can they get more? Here comes the Phoenix Egg. Old Chicken low, but on the high ground, Juggernaut lurks. He's gonna spin. They charge in on that Mirana, but she still is Aegis. They're committing too much for a hero that's gonna have a second life. They might bring him down, but at what cost, Mon? I don't think it's worth it. Ice still struggling to lock onto a target, though. Nice chip damage here as EHOME yet to lose a core hero, but Jug might be first. The Dire Courier down, a good pick off there. The Jug will fall. The Bat may well be next. No, RR does escape. Who got the gem? That's the real question. It's Abed who salvages it. I actually think that's not too bad for Execration.
Yeah.
All things considered, Aegis will now expire. The gem is worth, to me, like at least a core death at this point.
It's just the Jug needs to really stop dying. He's now 6 deaths, and we were talking about the PL going down. He's got 5. So it's both of these heroes. Luckily, the PL did survive in that last engagement, and he is split pushing, but here come EHOME with all the Aegis gone now, but
they can chip with Ice here. Can rage, right-click for a couple of seconds. Just has to be worried about the lasso. It is on cooldown now, so he won't back away.
Net worth lead is now up to 10,000 for EHOME, but we've seen a game where EHOME have had a 10,000 net worth advantage before, and it's dwindled just by making mistakes. The Moonlight Shadow, they'll look to try to
re-engage here.
Yeah, it's
RR has to be careful. Are they gonna lose this gem again? It's been passed around like a hot potato.
Back up, my friend. I think it's time to stay in your base. And EHOME, it looks like they won't find anything out of this. It's Old 11 with the Blanket and Tail combination. They will at least give Execration a little bit of breathing room here.
Just breathe.
I have to take a breath.
And Execration, I think they need to as well. This is the game where you want to close out EHOME. You do not want to go against this veteran squad into a game 3 having lost the previous match.
Exactly.
It doesn't look good, but they have shown the ability to come back already in this series. I do worry a bit about the matchup though. They don't have that heavy physical damage burst, the Venge, the Slardar. And they don't, and to me the EHOME draft scale is a bit better. It's dual core, Lifestealer, as well as Mirana. Both heroes that can dish out heavy DPS even late into the game. Still think Execration can take it. What they really need, I think more than anything here, is the BKB on RR. You get the BKB, you can reliably initiate. The Nyx can't carapace you, you won't instantly lose the gem. Lifestealer can't just focus you down with open wounds. But speaking of Lifestealer, Mont, he has gone for a BKB.
Yeah.
This is now a 22-second magic immune beast of a hero.
It's kind of nuts, honestly.
You rage, you BKB,
exactly.
And as soon as the BKB ends, you have a fresh rage available. Only the first time though, after that the BKB charge won't be quite long enough, but it's still a very small window to stun him.
It's very good against the Diffusal Blade of the PL. I mean, it's gonna stop, I mean, a lot of this magic damage is really the Static Storm of the Disruptor, so they kind of have to hope the Omni Slash is good, and even then, I don't know if that's enough to bring down the Lifestealer with plenty of armor as well as HP, and they're gonna go for another smoke for EHOME. They're going to try to find a pick-off here, but I don't know if I think they see that Nando is tough. I don't know if they see everybody else. It looks like they're heading straight up there, waiting to try to catch somebody out of position.
I mean, they see this Jug, and after the number of times he's died, you pretty much know the whole team, not visible elsewhere, is likely lurking behind him, so it's Old 11 leading the charge, as he so often has. Will RR see this one coming? He's got to get the jump.
He's like Carefaced to go the Firefly,
and he doesn't
get jumped. He won't get the jump. In fact, he gets jumped instead. Chemo and Abed trying to TP out, and it looks like they will make it away in time. So, well.
Dire's top tower
and for those just joining us here, we find Execration now on match point looking to close out EHOME. It was a back and forth slugfest of a game. If you look at the gold draft, dead even, team wipe, or virtual team wipe, back and forth from both teams. The key of this game has been the gem, getting passed around. EHOME reclaim it now, and up against Moonlight Shadow, up against the Nyx, you really need that true sight to deal with the gank. So now EHOME in control, but looking to force that deciding game 3. Execration came back from a similar deficit last time, Mott. Can they do it again?
I just realized that gem was lost. I'm not sure if you talked about that already. The gem that they purchased up for Execration by Chemo was done at about 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes into this game, and it's passed hands about 6 to 7 times throughout this entire matchup. So it's kind of nuts how many times this gem has gone through different hands, but it is back in the hands of Old 11, who will take it and work with it, trying to gain more map control yet again. And again, it's just Execration, they can barely get outside of the base. And if they do, they have to play together because they've been the pickoffs have been so fast and furious from EHOME that it's tough to deal with, especially on the cores. In fact, I think the supports have lesser depths than you see 5 depths for Abed and then you have 6 for Anando. So
the carries are dying a lot, but I think the bigger issue here is we see Old Chicken moving in the bottom lane, looking for a quick snipe on Chemo. Goodbye, Disruptor, he says, but the Glimmer Cape saves the day. Great way to deal with that Marauder, but meanwhile, top lane, Lana marching in, Tim's is gonna run, Nando's gonna TP with the Blade Fury, and they will catch, it looks like just a solitary or Spirit.
Abed is gonna get caught out as well. TP was not able to complete, he has nothing left now, and he's just gonna have to go down. There's nothing he can do, it's too dead. It would have been fine if maybe you just lose the Earth Spirit, but again, another carry dies for Execration.
EHOME just snowballing this one, and it's all about map control right now, Mott. That ward top, it saw all the heroes walking up into the lane. They knew that the Disruptor was backing off. Sure, they don't find the kill, but they know he's not there, and he's a key part of their team fight. On the back of that, EHOME muscle up. They look for their first lane of racks here.
They're going to have to force out the buyback for the PL, and again, we talked about how much he's been struggling to farm.
A buyback here is really going to hurt you.
He's looking for that Scotty, and that'll keep him alive a bit longer in some of these engagements, but 30 seconds, they have Glyph, but that won't last nearly long enough. He will end up having to buy back. I think Static Storm, unless they can find a good fight.
It's only going to isolate Lanham, and they move in, but again, the Yule Scepter just completely countering the zombie slash Nando. He's in too far, he's got a Blade Fury away. Only the Life Stealer forced to really commit anything there, and Festson says, bye guys, but they're going to come right back. They know that with Static Storm on cooldown, Execration's team fight, a bit underwhelming. Though as I say that, I jinx the push and Moonlight Shadow back.
I mean, that was the mistake EHOME had last game. They forced out the buyback and then they stayed a bit too long at that bottom lane. But now this time,
I think this time they actually could have pushed because there's no Omni, there's no Static Storm, and Execration really aren't that scary without a good team fights that they've won have always been on the back of a good Static Storm. So barring that, I think EHOME could have pushed this time, but this to me is more just showing like mentally, they're like, yeah, let's play ultra safe now.
This feels like an all-in play from Execration. Lasso will find Ice. Do they have the damage?
Need that Static Storm, unfortunately they don't have it. He's got a BKB anyway, so just gonna turn and maul Tim. That was not the hero to start the fight on. They immediately scramble back. Tim's so low, will he make it out? Not gonna happen. He's done for the count. RR trying to TP out, and elsewhere, they're beating down Chemo. The Disruptor will fall as well.
It's just another 2 kills going the way of EHOME. They continue to garner this advantage, now gaining a Lincoln Sphere. And you talked about Yules, they have 3 of them LD on EHOME's side.
They know the Disruptor is the key, and between the Yule Scepters here as well as the BKB on Lifestealer, you're just not killing anyone with that Static Storm unless you horribly overplay your hands. This is an easy rush for EHOME. This is the veteran squad that we were expecting. They've taken a while to show up, but they are completely now in control of Game 2.
Yeah, they have a 15,000 net worth advantage after, again, you see these bumps on this net worth graph, and it looks like nothing right now, but at the time, it was just back and forth like crazy. Nobody really gaining any sort of advantage, just a lot of different fights. One team will win one fight, another takes the second, but for now, Execration, it just feels like they just don't have the answers to a lot of, the damage, the survivability, the mobility, and everything that EHOME has in their bag of tricks. And
Old Chicken creeping in. Again, these dire wards, scouting out hero rotations. They saw one run up into the trees. RR frantically scrambling back, but they got him.
He just bought the gem. He's going to lose another one.
I'll take that as well, says Old 11. We're going to see the double baller gem. Lanham wants to grab it, but his pudgy ogre body can barely wind its way through the trees. Eventually, will manage to grab it. That is a devastating loss.
Yeah, he just bought it. It's still on cooldown for
even with the gem, they still struggle to take fights. They still struggle to leave their base. With no gem, they ain't going anywhere. And I don't think they actually have late game. Like PL Juggernaut, you look at, MVP Phoenix at the Shanghai Major when they were dominant. Yes, it's a very scary draft that can win the lane and transition great in the late game, but EHOME have all the solutions for PL, and Jug just cannot burst this lifesteal down.
No, Ice has got no ages, but the BKB will be popped. The clip will go. That might be a little bit early. Premature BKB pop from Ice. They find something here. Static Storm will go. The Rage is up, and the Omni Flash.
It's good, but it doesn't look like it's enough. Nando's got to back away. They can re-engage both ultimates down again, and this time EHOME, they almost certainly stick around here. What they need is a creep wave. Stuff. A lonely melee creep trying to lead the charge, but that is something Execration can deal with. Although, it's taken them a while. Kill that creep already! A new wave is coming.
Here we go. The air is going to come through. Oh my, the Yule Scepter on the bat. As he points in, the Force Staff to try to get out, but it won't be successful. The Impale to go further. Chemo, as well as his play, will fall next. 2 dead LD, and it might be more.
Ice though is almost out of mana here. It means he might not have the next Rage up. Old Chicken in deep as well. Will EHOME overextend and overplay their hand? They're continuing to chase, looking for more. They have brought down 2. Right now it's the 5v3 power play. Nando's going to explode. EHOME bursts him with ease. They play it right, and they will now rotate onto the mid lane, looking for a second lane of Rax, or at least a second melee. And with that, almost certainly the game. This one was a back and forth slugfest early, but losing that gem and then losing the Roche meant EHOME were going to keep it and keep map control for a long time, and from there, it was EHOME's game to lose. Yeah,
this draft just feels more put together for EHOME than the last one. The big issue with the last game is the Warlock ulti, just the cooldown's too long. In this game, Ice and Old Chicken, they just kind of run in, they do their damage, and they have the backup for the rest of the supports. Good Static Storm onto 2, but the BKB will go for Ice. It literally melts to the damage.
The itemization of EHOME is, along with that, getting the gem back is really the key, as they have all the answers for Static Storm. The Batrider initiation isn't that scary when you don't have the follow burst, and with that, Execration unable to close out the Juggernauts from China here in EHOME will have to fight it out in Game 3. With just one fight going their way, a little bit more careful play, I think this game could have easily snowballed the other direction, but it just didn't happen that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. It looked like at the beginning of the game, the laning phase was very, very strong for Execration. They had some really good movements. They played well, and the Chemo had some great Static Storms, but it's just not enough. And the BKB decision from the Lifestealer, the Yule's pickups were really solid for EHOME when you consider everything together. And so, yeah, like you said, LD, we're going to go to game number 3. So
it's